Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Copeland, a dating coach who loves helping women find love in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And today I have a special guest with me, a client of mine who is married as a result of us working together. And I wanted her to share her story with you because she went through a lot to get to where she is today. So I want to welcome Liz. Hi,
Hi, Lisa.
Liz.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm
So
great. Thank you.
do you want to just like in a nutshell share just share where you're at now in a relationship, and also if you don't mind how old you are, so that women know at every age this is possible.
I turned 64 in January. I think it was 64. It's funny. My 8-year-old grandson said, "How can you not know how old you are?" I said, "Well, that happens when you get older." And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I know I'm 64, and I think I met you 5 years ago. So I was um, just coming into late 50s, 60s,
Mhm.
and very discouraged. Second time divorced, really felt it was all me. I mean, it was all me because I was picking the wrong men, but when something happened, I always blamed myself. So the universe, I believe, got me together with you, and I started speaking with you, and slowly and surely, your kindness and really insight about this opened up pathways in my brain that were never there. And I started to really, I did all your modules. My best friend said I did a PhD in dating. I would print everything, and I did every module that you have on your website, and it was so much work. I still have a big binder of it. Sometimes I look back on it and think about that journey, and I'm so glad you were there for me because I couldn't have done it without you.
So it turned out the work you put into it paid off for you, because tell us what you're doing now with and then we're going to ask then I'm going to ask you some questions, more questions about dating and before you met Gus. So
Well,
tell me.
I didn't really, it's similar to my students because I'm a professor, and sometimes I tell them things and they just don't know what they don't know.
Mhm.
And that was the situation with me. I just didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't realize what I was attracting, what I was putting out there. I didn't realize my own inner struggles, and it just all had to be untangled and then just put out into the universe in a whole different way. So,
So before you came to me, what do you think your biggest fear was about dating?
biggest fear.
Mhm. Or what were you struggling with dating?
I was struggling with really being attracted to the wrong men. And really, I remember one time I spoke to you, I remember you saying, there are a ton of good men out there. And I was like, that was like a light bulb moment. I was like, and I knew when I hear the truth, I know, I was like, wait, I knew it was the truth. And all we hear, and especially women who are older, is they're men are this and men are all this derogatory, and there are a lot of good men out there. I just wasn't putting out that energy, and you kind of redirected. I think I was really scared. I mean, I was scared to be alone. I didn't want to be alone for the rest of I always said I do want to get married, even though it would have been my third marriage. I always believed I would find, but I was going down the wrong road. I didn't know. I was trying to find my guy, and I was going down the wrong roads.
Let's talk about that. Do you mind sharing with everyone who your old type was?
My old type was narcissistic. My old type was, and I remember you saying this to me, and they were boys. They
Mhm.
were little boys. They were involved in themselves. They were giving to a point in the beginning to get me on board, and then once I was on board, it was all about them. There was always an issue about planning stuff, or I would make, there was, I mean, the last 3 that I had before my husband were probably the worst. And I remember you saying that, but this is a gift. Remember the last guy who ghosted me? That put me, I mean, they're just really immature, didn't know how to tell me how they felt, or weren't in touch with how they felt, were afraid of their feelings. So really, they were little boys when I think about it, because now I have a healthy male who tells me when maybe rude to him, and then we laugh about it, who tells me, who's looking out for my best interest, who gives and is thoughtful. I remember when I was first dating him, my computer was so slow, and he's like, I'm gonna go to Mac and just get you a computer. And he just bought me a computer. I was like, whoa, like really, I really, to put it into like simple terms, they were just really not developed at all. I was attracted to somebody who I could take care of them. They certainly weren't taking care of me.
And the interesting thing with you with Gus is you were used to drama kings, I would say, because they say women can be drama queens, we'll say drama kings. And you broke up with him because he was
I know.
foreign to you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he calls it the pause. He would not, and he came and fought for me, and I will never forget that. And that was all new for me. He was like, listen, we have fun. And well, I remember sitting and saying to my best friend, it's like really boring, but boring is really good. Because boring is really stable and boring is really healthy.
He's probably not so much boring as
No.
he is just an emotionally healthy man. And
Right.
you were dating emotionally unhealthy, narcissistic little boys
Right.
who constantly created drama in your relationship that kept you on edge. And then
Right.
you weren't on edge anymore, and that felt boring to you.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
better way to put it. That's why
Yeah.
you're a dating coach. Yes.
Yeah. So you got married, and that is really wonderful. You can get married in your 60s. You really can find love. What do you think, from working with a coach, what do you think changed things for you on your dating journey?
Oh my gosh, everything that you taught me. I mean, it took a minute to realize I just didn't know what I didn't know. And that, as little kids, sometimes, when you try to correct a kid, it's hard. They don't like that they've made a mistake. And that's the way it is for all humans. And I was like, okay. I mean, I think what did we have? Weekly or bi-weekly talks? I can't remember. The talks,
Bi-weekly.
the talks with you, I think really opened up behavior that I was doing and the guys I was attracted to. I remember saying something to you about one of the last guys, and you were like, well, why would you want that? Like, why? Like, you used to ask really good questions, and you used to make me see things in a different way. I really believe there's no way I could have gotten to Gus without you. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you.
There's no doubt.
What do you think the tool that you used was one of the best tools for helping you finally identify that Gus really isn't boring and that he was your guy? If you go
You know
back,
what? I love that template when I looked at all the relationships.
quality man template.
Oh my God. And then I have it I have it right here, that after you went out on a date, all the 10 things that you had to list that you must have and the things that you wouldn't deal with.
Yeah.
Like really taking inventory. It's really, looking at dating in a way that really makes it not like a business, but really makes you really look at it in a different way. I was just like, oh, it's love, like this romantic version. No, I was trying to get down to the qualitative, like, this is the information I'm getting. So what am I going to do with it? And I'm not going to romanticize it. And I'm not going to be like, oh, attracted to this energy of the little boy. But it definitely was the quality man template, filling out that, and you helping me see, like, going over, that was life-changing for me, because I saw I was really, but it was like it was all the same portrait, but just one was done in pinks, one was done in blues, one was done in white, one was done in oils. It was all, and I had to change that template.
That was the pattern chart of the Quality Man template. And it is astounding that we in our heads, we truly justify what what's going on. And when you have it in black and white, because you were so good about really going back and looking, and when you had it in black and white, like you said, you could see dating the same guy, just in different color clothing or different car, but the same underlying issues. So if you could give advice to women who are afraid to go out there and date, who think that, oh my God, there's no good men out there, what would you tell them?
Well, first of all, it is a lot of work. You know, I had to go on a lot of dates. You have to put yourself out there. You know, it is scary. You have to put yourself, I was like, I am not going on a match. I'm not going on, you know, but you can't, it's like all of those adages. You have to do what makes you the most scared. And if you really want something, and I really wanted it. So I asked somebody who was good at taking pictures, and your advice about make sure you smile in the pictures, and guys like to see one full length picture. Gus just told me, make sure, you know, you don't have 25 pictures.
One guy's opinion. Yes. But
and then, you know, going on dates, I started to make it like just a business kind of thing. And and then I would always talk to you and get your feedback, and you would always enlighten me about something else. It was just like peeling away that onion. And every time I got to a point where I was a little stuck, you would make it clear for me. So and I think I would tell them, you know, it is scary, especially in today's world. Make sure you're safe and you tell people what you're doing. But it's really, really true what Lisa said. There are a lot of good guys out there. And I went on so many dates before I met Gus. And some of them were horrible. And some of them were okay. But I had to put in the work. And I wanted to, because I wanted to find somebody to be with. That was my goal. And I believed in it. I really did.
I think everybody, their ideal thing would be the guy drops from out of the sky right onto their doorstep. And you really took in the tools, you absorbed them. This was your dream. You were committed to it. You were going to do everything you could to make it happen. It was a priority for you, and it wasn't always easy for you.
No.
But you did it anyway. So before we started recording this, you showed me earrings you have on. Do you want to share this? These are so cute, little heart earrings. You want to share?
In honor of Lisa.
Oh, what your daughter said?
My daughter gave this to me, yeah, because she was so happy, because everyone loves Gus. My mom loves Gus too. And she's the daughter of a New York City cop, so she knows people.
Let's talk 1 second about New York, just 1 second, because I've worked with a lot of women in New York. And for New York, if you're 10 blocks away, it's considered going to another country to meet someone. So what would you say about staying open to where you meet people? Because everybody in their city, I'd say LA is the same way as well.
Right.
Did you go outside your 10 blocks to meet Gus, or did you stay in your 10 blocks?
I stayed in my 10 blocks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of guys in your 10 blocks.
Yeah. And you know, the difference with Gus too, when we decided to meet, he lived all the way he lived like an hour away. And most guys who lived an hour away were like, I'll meet you halfway. And I was like, without batting an eye, he was like, I'll come to you. He always came to me.
He was further than your 10 blocks. But this time you had a man who was stepping up for you, versus in the past where these guys said, I'll meet you halfway. You know, that was a big red flag for you.
Yeah, that really was. Yeah.
So you're married, you're happy. Is there anything else you want to share about that will help women understand this process and, how you got there and why working with a coach helped you?
Well, I truly believe I couldn't have done it without a coach because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I think you're really gifted at, there's a combination of you of like understanding the dilemma that women face, especially at this age, and then putting stuff into action. Like you have action, like do this and then do this and then do this. And I think your modules, your website, the work that I did between our talks, and I wouldn't have known how to do that work if you didn't supply it to me. And then the talks that I had with you just kept unfolding in me the ability to see that I was attracting love objects that were just repeating. It was just a repeat. And I remember having so many light bulb moments with you. And so the combination of your website and your kindness and your ability to understand the situation, every time I spoke to you and making it clear. I mean, there were sometimes, remember how upset I would be? And it was just like, it was tearing my heart out because I really thought it was all me. I thought it was my fault. And you were like, this is a little boy. And you were honest and forthright and sometimes tough. And it was great because you were like, this is what you need to do. And that, the truth runs everything in this world and you're about the truth. And I'm forever grateful I met you. And I would do anything to help you because you really help a lot of women. You really do.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
It was an honor to do that with you. And I so appreciate you coming on here. And for those of you who have heard Liz's story and you think, oh my God, I see this as possible. Yes, it can be hard. Yes, it's a journey, but I'm ready to take action. If you are, there is a link below. Let's set up a time to talk. That's how Liz and I started. She came, we took a look at what was going wrong in her dating life. We took a look at what she wanted. And here she is today. Married Sadie Lady, or is that how Married Sadie Lady? Is that the way? Is that? I think it's
I'm
from
not familiar with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Liz, for sharing your journey, and keep smiling, keep enjoying Gus. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Until next time. Bye.